Hi.
Hello, everybody.
What's up, nerds? How you doing?
Welcome, welcome.
It's Terrible Title Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
No, it's Terrible Title Tuesday.
Tuesday, innit?
Jesus. I've not had enough energy drinks to be able to handle this.
I haven't had any today.
I have had a cup of coffee.
See, you've had more caffeine than I have.
And a Dr. Pepper during lunch.
Look at that.
Although my lunch was a little underwhelming.
Stacking up the caffeine.
Not gonna lie. Hey, look, we got a cool thing we're gonna paint today.
Ooh.
Ah!
Jason is feeling better.
Correct.
But Jen and Jason are both busy with meetings.
Yes, they are busy little bees.
Busy little bees.
Busy little bees.
But hello, everybody. Welcome,
Yes.
welcome.
Hello, indeed. Much hope for a wonderful day on your guys' end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I hope that it's been treating you positively and not negatively. It's weird that it's Tuesday. I don't know why it feels weird that it's Tuesday, but it does kind of feel weird that it's Tuesday.
It feels like it should be Wednesday, personally.
Yes, it's an awfully Wednesday Tuesday.
Yeah.
It feels awfully like a Wednesday
No,
to me.
it's quite upsetting, actually, every time I'm like, oh, it's Wednesday, and then I'm like, no, it's not Wednesday.
All right, so we're gonna paint this today, which
Also,
means
hello.
I need to figure out what colors to paint this guy.
Those ones.
Well, yes.
Those colors.
That's accurate. I gotta find good colors for the green and for this kind of like orangey red we got going on here.
Yeah. Avian, Jason is not home at Cora. He was in the office today. He just has meetings.
I've got some beautiful ideas.
Jade, I definitely thought it was Wednesday this morning.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
I woke up and I was like, it's Wednesday. And then I realized
No, it's not.
It's Tuesday.
I will not be here early next week.
What?
Nope.
Who let you do that?
Well, Jen. You can take it up with Jen. And Gabe. I will be having a little bit of a rest from the show.
Good.
So, using those days next Monday and Tuesday.
Awkwardish.
Which is dope.
You have all 127 paints with the new order that you placed.
We were talking about the fact that you were missing paints at Nova. I'm happy that you're all caught up now.
That's great.
That's exciting.
Also, Paint Liquor said hot pink base coat, and I simply have to agree.
Oh my gosh, I want to get... Okay, I need to design a sticker that's a gold star that says, like, got the whole thing or something.
Yeah.
For that we can, like, if somebody messages us, like, puts an order in for their, like, last Pro Curl, and they go, hey, this is all of the Pro Curl that I have until I'm, like, completely maxed out, and I have everything, and we put that little sticker in there that says that they have all this Pro Curl.
That'd be pretty great.
Yeah. Until they do that every time that they order new paint afterwards.
Right.
Which is kind of a problem.
Right.
But I like the idea. I'm gonna stuff that away in my brain filing cabinet for a little bit.
Yeah.
And we're gonna figure out what that might look like in the future.
Exactly.
But
until you make new paint again. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, that was the thought that I had. And I was like, this sounds great. And I was like,
And then we come up with more paint and people are like, I get another star.
Yeah, I get another sticker, guys. Give me a gold star. Like, but you already got one. I was like, well, how do you know that I already got one? And it's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
This is what my brain does a lot of the time, chat. How I think about things a lot. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. I'm like, no.
T. Schmidt asked if this is Denov. This is Devondra, right?
This is Devondra. Yeah. Denov is this handsome fella.
This guy. He looks so good.
Who is pretty much done. I think he's, like, actually done. Wow. Maybe a couple little tidbits on there. But enough that I want to get started on Devondra. We gotta get this started. But also, really cool, we gotta go through the little bit of discovery time on figuring out what this recipe is gonna look like. We can do that together.
Building recipes.
So,
recipes.
We need
fire truck.
Nice saturated greens that are kind of yellow. So we're thinking yellow greens, bright yellow greens, things like that. So we've got our yellow green, bright yellow green, which is like in the general vicinity of what we're looking for. This is actually probably closer. It's tough because the model is in shadow and also being lit by warm sunlight. So the colors of the native colors of the model are a little obscured. So you have to go to places like in the middle, like right here. Let me see if I can zoom in on this for you guys. Like here, where we look for that color right there, is probably a pretty good local color for what the armor actually is, or something like in here.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of green color tones, so I have a little bit of flexibility with what I pick, but I think we're definitely going to do the warm highlights. I think that looks really, really nice. So we're going to start with probably yellow-green. And then...
Yellow-green.
This is like yellow-green, pale yellow mixed into yellow-green is probably where we're going to be at for that.
Are you going to do all of those glowy white details?
I think so. I might actually use Noosh on that.
That's what I was hoping your answer would be.
I think we're gonna do Noosh for that.
Oh, are they? Yet.
We're gonna go through that process.
Are they printed into the model?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they're recessed. They're very shallow though, so we'll see how that goes.
Gabe said, "New shit."
New shit. I did not say an expletive. I promise. It just sounds like I did. All right. So I'm liking how this is looking. Also, the design's a little different, so we'll have to get a little creative here. But we're going to start with the green.
We're good at being creative.
So we're going to start with yellow-green. I'm going to mix in...
Oh, Awkwardish said dark jade in the shadows. But it sounds like you're doing yellow-green.
Yeah, actually, I should do a shadow color first.
There you go. Good job, Awkwardish.
You know, just thinking about it. I actually want to go more of like a brown color. There's like a nice little brown color in here, which I really like.
I see.
So we're going to do that kind of warm color. Maybe, dark golden brown. Let's go!
A lot of excitement for dark golden brown.
I think it's a perfect color.
Flapjack, welcome.
Alright, so we're starting dark golden brown.
Hint Liquor, yes we do. We're starting to get into the season where we won't have to do it anymore, but during the summer we ship the soap with a mini ice pack wrapped.
Turns out it's very hot here.
Safely in a little insulated bubble wrap.
We don't want you to have all the sort of melty little...
No, it would be a mess and a disappointment.
Yes. You'd be unhappy, we'd be unhappy. It's not a great solution.
Just general unhappiness.
General unhappiness.
They're actually really fun to package too. That sounds really lame, but
sounds really lame.
They're super fun to put together. Flapjack, this is Devondra, is from Age of Angra. One of the 3 models that we got printed. Awkwarder said dark golden brown was on her order today.
Awesome. Did you get a bunch of singles or did you get sets?
That's a good question.
I'm curious to know.
I bet it's just a bunch of singles. Can't look, I'm glad you got a good laugh out of it. Papa Chicken said Devondra looks like the type that would use stealth rocks as an opening move.
That's probably true.
I don't know what that means. Is that Pokemon?
Hey! That is Pokemon. Wow, I'm impressed.
Well, I kind of inferred. I played a little bit of Pokemon, but not enough to really know.
That's a pretty obscure Pokemon move. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
That's like a I've played like competitive battling Pokemon, and I know what that move is because it's good.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Yeah.
So like somebody who I know doesn't do that, like knowing what it is, it's impressive.
Yeah, but Papa Chicken, I've never played an actual game of like card Pokemon in my life.
Have you played the video game?
Yeah.
You've at least played the video game.
I have Pokemon Ruby. It's either Ruby or Sapphire. for my DS.
Okay.
I used to have a Game Boy, and then
Do you are you like a regular, like I buy the games when they come out and I play them for a while, and or do you just like not do that anymore?
No, I don't. I don't play any like any of the recent
Newer
Pokemon.
ones, yeah. Okay.
It's legitimately just the nostalgia of the one I used to play when I was little, and then I got, I think, Pokemon Pearl, which was the DS version. I had Ruby. I did have Ruby, but I think when we got rid of it, I found one at one of the GameStop or like Fallout games, and I got Sapphire. What's the difference between Emerald, Ruby, and Sapphire?
There are exclusive Pokemon that you can get in only Ruby and only Sapphire.
Gotcha.
So the idea is, so whenever a Pokemon game comes out, there's always 2 or 3 different versions. There's always 2 release versions, which are like Ruby and Sapphire, right? Are the release versions. And those will have the same exact story for the most part. Some of them, like there's some Pokemon games where like the bad guys will be from one or a different team.
Yeah.
So like I think Ruby and Sapphire actually were the first example of those, where instead of Team Rocket you had like, I don't know, I forget what they called them.
Okay.
But they were like a red bad guy team and a blue bad guy team. And they were like they were vying for control of stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
Pokemon stuff.
Yeah.
And,
I understand the vibes.
Yeah, you understand the vibes.
Aqua and Magma.
Thank you. It's been a long time since I've
also,
played.
apparently Gabe has my Ruby game, so...
What the heck, Gabe? I think you need to give that back, like, right now.
Currently.
This is unacceptable.
Yeah.
Anyways. So, that's different between the 2 games sometimes, but also there are unique Pokemon in one game than the other. Typically, there's a legendary that's different. So there's the legendary that's on the box. That's the one that comes in each version of the game. You have to trade with another player to get the other version.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Finders keepers. What the heck? You probably stole it from me when I was like young.
Did you like, I'm your big brother and I'm gonna steal this from you sort of deal?
He probably took it and was like, she won't know.
She won't know.
But
Well,
I
you
know.
didn't until now. So
I knew it was
kinda
gone.
knew.
I knew it was gone, and I didn't know what happened to it.
Oh, well. Then, Gabe, you done thieved it.
He done thieved it.
You done thieved it,
You know what?
Gabe.
He can have that win, though, because I'm pretty sure he gave, Pokemon Gold or Silver? I think they, gave that to Goodwill.
Oh. That seems like not a thing you give away to Goodwill. Well, I mean, I guess now.
You would think. But, yeah. Or our parents did, I don't know. Somebody, somewhere, sometime, got rid of our beloved Pokemon games.
Were they beloved?
Yes. We traded them to GameStop like a bunch of crazies. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think the only time we ever gave something good to Goodwill was when my dad gave our PlayStation and like a bunch of games to Goodwill. Just to Goodwill.
Thanks, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow, Dad, you're really bringing it down.
Pretty brutal.
That was a sad day.
Anyway, Stealth Rocks is from Pokemon.
Yes, it is.
I did not.
That's what started this whole conversation.
Yes.
With Stealth Rocks.
I mean, to be fair, it sounds like a Pokemon move. So.
I'd be really impressed if you knew what it did.
Yeah, I can't tell you that. Could be anything.
Well, I can tell you what it probably isn't.
You're just a wee bit out of frame.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, folks. I'm gonna zoom
Yeah,
out.
it's definitely not conspicuous rocks, so.
It's also probably not a water move.
Nope. Definitely definitely ground.
Probably doesn't have anything to do with electricity. Probably a safe bet.
Are you winning, kids? What? I don't understand that one, Avian. Oh. Yeah, we're talking about, so somebody, Papa Chicken was talking about Stealth Rocks, which is a move in Pokemon.
It's an obscure move.
Yeah.
This is like one of those moves that you take off your Pokemon immediately when you're playing the game because it doesn't do anything that you'd want it to do during like a regular playthrough.
Right.
It's like a tail whip move. It's like you don't want that on your Pokemon. You just take it off and put like Fire Blast.
I want
instead.
the big stompy ones that do a lot
Correct.
of damage.
Yes. Stealth Rock does not do that.
It's what my parents would say when I was playing on the NES or Atari. I see. Are you winning, kids?
It sounds like my buddy who
Seems
would
like
always come over when we were playing miniatures games. He'd go, "Who's winning the match?"
I love that.
And he would say it exactly like that,
Who's
and
winning the match?
I've never forgot it. Yeah, it's great.
I love that.
Such a fond memory. Just like I just remember every time we were like playing. This would have been the time where I was playing a lot of War Machine, and it's just so funny.
Yeah,
Who's
I like that.
winning the match?
Hi, Relax Studio.
You might have noticed I actually said it to you the other day when you guys were playing.
Who's winning the match?
Yeah.
When I was playing Blood Bowl with Kyle.
Yeah. Speaking of, who's winning the match?
Yeah.
Who won, by the way?
Who do you think?
Who do you think won, Jordan?
Who do you think won?
This is not
The first timer or the guy who's obsessed with Blood Bowl?
Well, probably the guy who's obsessed with Blood Bowl. All right.
He was very nice to me. He didn't try to hit my guys when they were down. So
Hello.
He was,
Hello.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? That same guy who said that phrase over and over again whenever we were playing games, he was the guy who ruined Blood Bowl for me.
What?
Funny enough.
You mean the guy that invented it?
Jason
No,
hates
but
Blood
yes.
Bowl.
But yes.
No, but
No,
yes.
But yes. Turns out, worst game ever is still worst game ever because of the guy that invented it.
I despise that game
Hate it.
in ways that I cannot articulate
Hate it.
to...
Hate it.
Vector.
It's horrible.
That's awesome. I'm glad that you had such a great experience airbrushing with Bolt Power Red. They say, thank you for making the red of all reds, Jason.
Well, you're very welcome.
Old Power Red. Pretty red.
Pretty red. Won't lie. Look at that guy. Have you figured out what you're gonna do for the orange, Jordan?
What's going on, Sarcastic?
I have some ideas.
Hey, Awkwardish.
I think
Hello, everybody.
orange oxide is the perfect color. I think it's perfect. Like, if I look at this and I go orange oxide, it's kind of just the perfect color.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that probably.
I do like that.
And I think it's going to look really cool.
Shush, Chuck.
Turkey.
You shush.
What's this model from, Jason? Or is it just a cool model?
This is the Dragon Trapper's Lodge model I've been working on for a couple weeks.
Oh!
Oh?
Those models are so cool.
Yeah. They are awesome.
There's so many flowery fairy people, and I want to paint all of them. Hi, Captain Mannerings. Papa Chicken said, would love to see Denov square off with Devondra on stream once they're both painted up.
Oh, inside and outside.
Your Rumblebees are shipping. Oh, did you buy some that were pre-printed? You're going to love them. We need to print some out here once our printers have some extra time on them.
What are the Rumblebees?
It's not that we don't already have like 50 million projects to paint too, though, so.
True.
But I want to paint some Rumblebees before I die.
Are those the bees with the little, like, winged creatures on them? Or...
The Rumblebees are just big fat bumblebees that also then there are the Rumblebee Knights that have the fairy knights on them.
Yeah, okay.
All right, we're getting there on this color. Liking where we're going so far.
Tim, what's going on, man?
How's your day going today, Jason? Are you feeling...
It's super busy.
True. Sounds like business as usual then.
Too much going on. And I had a surprise business phone call that I was not expecting. That was nice to be able to have, but then it got interrupted halfway through, and so we have to resume. And the only time we can resume, since he's on the East Coast, is tonight.
Oh gosh.
So late for him, late for me.
Relax Studio asked if you're using the August Challenge color palette, Jason.
What's that?
Are you using the August Challenge color palette for this?
No.
It's got some colors that are similar.
No, not on purpose.
Yeah.
I've used an absolute tremendous amount of colors on this for how monochromatic it looks.
Mm-hmm.
So you have both of the wash bottles over there, and they're both empty. I'm gonna go clean out my water. Oh, hey, you want to see something nice?
No, don't show it to me.
You guys want to see?
Oh, gross. Jason.
Can you tell that? Let's see if I can rotate it. Can you tell that? Oh, see how water stays exactly the same when you turn the. Can you tell that there is like something floating in there?
Yeah.
Like, what exactly is that?
I think you have something living in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good science project. Anybody got kids with a science project due? I'll send you this in a jar.
Spencer Reed, we do. We have our
Gross.
monthly challenges posted in Discord. I'll put that link up for you. But yeah, we do them every month, and they're labeled with the month that we're in. And they're super fun. You should definitely participate.
I recommend them. They're pretty sweet. You guys also just paint some awesome stuff during those as well. So I need you guys to quit it because it's hard to judge.
Yeah.
Well, we don't even judge. It's hard to pick things that we like because we like all of them.
Yes.
I need this. That.
The brush goop leaves floaties for me. That makes sense.
Well, it's got oils in it,
Yeah.
so that's the way that works.
Science with Jason. Oil and water don't mix.
True. Very true.
That's looking very green, Jordan.
So it turns out Devandra's pretty green.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I also like it a lot.
Mo dared you to take a sip of it, but it's too late now.
Sip of what?
The water.
No! Jason, don't listen to that guy.
What happened?
Mo had dared you to take a sip of the water.
I already dumped it. Sorry.
I mean, there's plenty of tasty water over here if you really feel the need, Jason.
How much am I getting paid for this?
Not enough. I'll tell you that right now. You're definitely not getting paid enough.
You get to work at Monument Hobbies.
That may not. Well, it's tough.
Flavor enhancers down the drain.
I think Jen would be upset if we drink it, so we probably shouldn't. That's my answer. I'm sticking with it.
Well, that seems fairly safe bet.
Am I wrong?
She's not here, though.
True.
Hold on. Jen always knows. Jen is always watching.
Always watching. Think of that old lady from Monsters Inc. She's always watching.
It'd be really funny if she just messaged in chat. Yes, I am. And then you'd be like, see, Jason? But no, that would...
Seems about right.
Yeah.
About par for the course.
I mean, that has definitely happened before. So...
More times than I can count.
Yeah. Definitely enough to be one of those situations where it's like, well, it's happened before. We should probably avoid having it happen again. All right. Push in. Nice little highlight here. So we're going to be a little bit more focused here. The mix of pale yellow and yellow green.
I am. Jason, Mo asked if you got your BattleTech stuff yet.
Nope. Nope. Catalyst doing an exceptional job of pissing the world off right now.
Oh, really?
Oh my god, yeah.
Are people super mad?
There's people like bomb threading them, I think.
Oh, what the heck?
What?
They're already supplying the same product to like retailers somehow and had stuff at like conventions, but we haven't gotten ours. It's the standard Kickstarter BS. Influencers and whomever else that, you know, taken care of before the paying customer kind of thing. I don't want to throw them under the bus, but
It sounds like that's
a lot of angry people right now.
Yeah.
That's how all those campaigns go, though. They're not easy to manage. That's why we don't like them. From a customer support standpoint, it's never really built towards giving everybody what they want.
Mo said he got his a few days ago.
I haven't even gotten an email saying they know I exist. So,
Wow.
and we're about to move. So my fear is that it just won't get here? Question mark.
Oh, no. Yeah. Wow. Are you able to communicate a change of address with them?
I would highly doubt in the current situation that they're going to be very fast to respond to anything.
Yeah.
But maybe they would.
Imagine their customer service is working overtime right now.
Jade said that Chuck was saying something about it, and apparently the stuff that the sent too early to the retailers, and they were told to ship it back.
What?
Yeah.
Right.
That's hilarious.
How about you just ship it to the right people when you're supposed to ship it to the right people? Like in order of who ordered the things.
Well, you gotta remember, most of these are issues being handled by fulfillment companies and not by the manufacturer themselves. So that causes problems. I don't know how big Catalyst is, but I feel like they probably use 3PLs to ship out most of their stuff.
Sapo asked if it's an HQ move or a house move.
HQ.
I was about to say, I hope it's not a house move. You guys bought that house last year.
Yeah. No, HQ. We got to move the office. Lock, stock, and barrel. Everything. Anybody want to come move? We'll buy pizza.
Woo! Pizza.
I definitely get the feeling that there's going to be
Anybody
a lot
got
of
a pickup truck?
Her.
Or 20?
Or 20?
I don't think one will work. One truck ain't going to cut it.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff around here.
Darth Mullen, that is the plan. Move everything. Papa Chicken, HQ means everything. All of the everything.
Whole business. Everything. You'll drive the semi, Sapo? So will Tim. Tim's like, I finally get to work for Monument. Well, we don't know. We don't have the new location locked in. We just had a meeting. That's why I was late today. We had a meeting with the realtor today. We're waiting on the owner of the building to come back to us with some responses to our demands. We're moving into a leased building, and we're going to sell this one because we're just growing too fast, so we don't want to lock into another purchase. So we've got some demands. We need more bathrooms over there and stuff like that, so. Upgrade, yeah, about 60-75% more space.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Darth, yeah, it does. Yeah, thinking about moving all this stuff is an absolute nightmare. Still Phoenix, yeah, Paint Liquor, just down the street, actually. Just down Indian School, the other side of the 17. So within a few miles of here. It might be 3 miles away, maybe 2 miles.
It's not
3
far,
miles,
right?
It's not that bad. We're on 3rd Street, and it would be 27th Avenue. Yeah, Mo, it's a big upgrade as far as space. Plus, the usability factor of the building is exponentially more. Our building, while being really cool, it's a 1972 brick building, so it's a really neat building. We love it, but it's kind of windy. There's a lot of hallways and space that isn't tremendous. We make it work, but it's not flexible enough for us to use any way we want. So it kind of pigeonholes us. So this building is maybe 80%, 75% of its actual floor space can be used for what we need it to be used for. So having then another 75%, and it's just a big rectangular box. It's an industrial box, but it's all air conditioned and stuff that's very hard for us to find, believe it or not, in Phoenix, is large industrial facilities that are classified in the correct commercial status and that are fully air conditioned. Coxie, what's the best PSI for base coating with Pro Acryl paint? We spray at 22 generally. If you know about how all of that works, your ambient, like, barometric pressure is going to affect that a little bit, right? Like, if you have a higher barometric pressure, humidity, things like that in your area, then you might want to go a little bit higher. So there's no de facto setting. Temperature plays a part on it. But I would say anywhere from 20 to 25 PSI is the playground you need to be living in, and go from there. I never suggest under 20 PSI. There are some specialty techniques that once you get more control of your airbrush, you might find you like at lower pressures, but typically we never change it here. So we're very dry in the desert, though. No humidity, low pressure. Paint Liquor, you may have to come visit. The new facility will be really amazing. It's a really cool. It's also an older, like, 70s building, but it's built as an industrial build, big block construction place. It should be really neat because we'll get to build it out the way we want to. If all goes well and we get in there, we should know hopefully next week if we can get the process started, and hopefully we'll be moved in by October or early October.
Oh my
Yeah, I don't know that all that can happen. It may not be that that's the case, but we need to take over the facility quickly because we have a tremendous amount of the spray primers coming in, and they need a place to live. So we're kind of on a clock. What ratio to paint to thinner or water, Coxie? A lot of times, like Baby J's over there spraying probably with no thinning at all.
Mixed a little bit just because I was using it for a longer period of time.
Yeah, so you don't have to thin the paints if you just want vibrant base coats, so you don't have to layer it up a bunch, but you can thin it however you like. I typically, when people are learning to spray with our paints, I say, 50-50 is a great place to start and see how you like that for coverage. It's going to be a little thin on opacity, and you'll have to do a couple of passes with it, but it's comfortable. But 2 to 1, 2 drops of paint to 1 drop of thinner will get you by. Play around with it and see. Will the air compressor still be in the office spaces? No. The air compressor for the studio, because we have to build a whole new studio, it's basically an open box with offices up front. Well, it has an office, like a showroom area up front that will be open air bullpen style offices that we use for all of the administration stuff. So when you come in, that'll be administrative, marketing, sales, all of that. Jen and mine's office will be up there. Kyle, our GM, will all be officed up front. And then you'll go through into the back area and you'll have fulfillment and manufacturing that will be in a big kind of more shared space. I really like the idea of all of the team working together as much as possible. So it should be really cool. Darth Maul, you always did 2 to 1. Yep, exactly. And yeah, we just use water. Yeah. Everyone else swears by distilled. I've never used distilled water in anything painting. So you don't have to. T. Schmidt, yeah, it's got to happen quick. Just make sure you have space for the game room. That's super important. We'll be able to actually have another employee lounge that is more comfortable and bigger. We'll get better furniture and tables. Our lounge right now is a crap show. We have too many people. Our lounge was great when we had 10.
Yeah.
It's pretty stuffed in there now.
Shelby laughs. We can't even do our monthly staff meetings in the building anymore because we can't fit everybody in one area of the building.
So crazy to me.
We'll just put a speaker in there that we can talk into. Right? We'll just have a microphone, like a CB microphone here. It's like, Gabriel. You have to use distilled water because of all the heavy lime content, because of all the dead bodies in the lake. That just makes your painting better.
The dead bodies?
It's funny because I joke, but there are painters that have suffered from this in the past, that something in their environment was in putting into their style of painting, and they would then move and lose that and not know what the culprit was, using the exact same tools, exact same paints, exact same style, but the colors didn't look the same. This is mostly canvas painters and like oils and such, and something that the environmental stuff, whether it was the humidity or whether it was the water they were thinning with or whatever it was, the brand of turpentine they bought, whatever it was, crazy stuff.
Huh.
Bring.
I like that sound.
Yeah, exactly, Papa Chicken. We've got so much hard minerals in the water here in Arizona that it makes all of our models tougher.
Built
100%.
Arizona tough.
100%.
Yeah.
Truth. We only speak the truth here.
We fortify our miniatures with Arizona mineral water.
Sapo, your work is expanding. You just finished 300,000 square foot of concrete. That's a much bigger building than ours.
much bigger.
Substantially.
That's like an Amazon distribution center. Like, we're still in the 20,000 square foot range. So we'd be like one office in that building could house all of Monument Hobbies.
I'm so interested to know where there are lots of dead bodies in lakes. I'm still stuck on that, Mo.
Where do you put your dead bodies?
Yeah, Shelby, tell us.
Well, we have a garden for a reason, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, Shelby.
That's a much better way of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's helping
You're not
us.
supposed to tell the people that.
But then does it ever feel weird when you look outside and you know that like the vegetables that you're eating are literally the bodies of your dead foes? Does that bring you happiness?
It doesn't not.
Like, these tomatoes are great. And that guy's refrigerator was better than he was.
Oh my gosh, the refrigerator.
This is Shelby's life in a nutshell. This is Shelby's Dateline episode.
Yes. What a boring.
So tell us about the refrigerator, Shelby.
Funny.
Lake Michigan never gives up her dead. Yeah, she does. Along the shores. I think the Great Lakes give up all their dead in Canada.
Well, I did know about that awkwardish. I think actually a lot of the, like Yellowstone, a lot of the pools of water there are like highly acidic.
Yep.
And will kill you.
I am not driving to Yellowstone when I have a perfectly good garden in your backyard.
There you go.
Are we body
Jason, what are you
dumping?
doing here on a Saturday? Oh, I just thought I had some gardening to help Shannon with. It's no big deal.
So we're burying.
Pay no
them
attention to me,
in
I'm just digging a
Shannon's
hole.
Garden?
In
What's
the
happening?
Fisher's backyard. Michigan gives up its dead in Indiana.
All right, I like this color combination so far. We're in the right vicinity.
Oh yeah. Check that out.
Nailed it.
Look at him.
I'm gonna do some cool highlights and stuff.
Sounds like a Fred West episode. What's Fred West?
I don't know. I've never heard about
I
that
don't know.
before.
I think I'm too young.
Who's Fred and why is he West?
Maybe I'm too old this time. Adam West's brother? What?
Pig farms, yes, they will eat the teeth. Don't ask me how I know
Oh,
that.
gosh.
You know, I was today years old when I learned that there's a Pizza Hut across the street from the pyramids in Giza.
Wait, really?
Yeah, legit.
Really?
Google it.
A Pizza Hut?
There's a Pizza Hut within a 5-minute walk of the pyramids.
That feels wrong.
Right? It feels wrong because every movie you've ever seen about the mummy and all that makes it seem like if you're at the pyramids, you're lost in the desert.
Yeah, you're in the middle of
When in
nowhere.
reality, you could turn around and there's a McDonald's.
And a Pizza Hut.
Like, dude, just point the cameras the other direction. Pizza Hut.
I'm sorry, what? We have found dead bodies in our farmland a couple of times now. That's
Sorry, what?
crazy. That is crazy.
Like human bodies?
It sounds like it.
Where's your farmland?
Yeah, we've got some bodies to dump.
Like, where is your farm?
Yellowstone.
Wow, that's insane.
No, I don't know.
That would be so jarring.
Unless you put them there.
You're just out for a leisurely tractor ride on a Sunday,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden it's bodies interrupting your joyous weekend.
Wisconsin? I received a text that I was mentioned when speaking
Yeah,
about Blood Bowl.
they have to hide Cairo, so they take all the photos of the pyramids from Pizza Hut. Because if you take the photos from Pizza Hut, it's all desert the other way. Cairo and all of the stuff is on one side, and the other side looks like what you envision the pyramids in the middle of the desert would look like. There's nothing except the pyramids. So when you're looking at it, you'll always see the Sphinx
Yeah.
first, and then the pyramids behind it.
Right.
But the Sphinx is closer to Cairo. So if you take it and you see the backside, it's all city. And when you look at it from above, it looks like the city is legitimately right across the road. Like it wraps around the pyramids are in this triangular shape there, and then Cairo goes around them all around the top side of the photo.
That's so...
But you'd never know that. I knew about Cairo. I did not know that it was so close that you could literally like be there. Yep, pizza.
Dang.
That's crazy.
I received a text that I was mentioned when speaking about Blood Bowl.
Who's ratting out?
Keenhammer received a text that I was mentioned when speaking about Blood Bowl.
Somebody's
No?
tattling.
Kyle's dream crushing.
Did he play? Did you play him in Blood Bowl?
No.
She did.
I played him.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was your first mistake.
Well,
I knew better.
Well, your first mistake was saying, yes, I'll play Blood Bowl. I know the team was cute.
I bought the gnomes.
The gnomes were cute, and I get it. I get the attraction there, the bright, shiny aspect of it. But you have to think about who was trying to get you to play first.
Well, he was never trying to get me to play.
Kyle's like a big old teddy bear. You just want to love him. He doesn't seem like he'd steal you wrong. And then all of a sudden, he says, Blood Bowl. And then your life ends.
Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, he adds another soul to his little bag that he wears on his hip. If you check it out, he has this little sack of souls. And that's where the souls of his enemies go.
I'm so concerned. I'm worried about the well-being of the employees here.
They never show the photo of Pizza Hut on the travel brochure. Come see the pyramids. Bask in the wonder. It all sounds great until you get there and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Why is there...
There's a whole page that I saw when I went down that rabbit hole on YouTube, and there's a whole page that was dedicated towards people showing photos of their drive to work in Cairo, and it's the pyramids. Like, they're going to work, and it's the pyramids right outside their window at work.
Wow.
Like, their office and pyramids.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. It's crazy when you think about it like that, because
Yeah.
we're over here thinking, mystique and da-da-da-da.
So mysterious.
It's like, nah, we had to build the houses someplace, too, dude.
Yeah.
People live here.
Yeah. It is similar to how it is in Italy, like looking at the Colosseum and people are just like driving around.
Well, there's an office building right next to it.
Mm-hmm.
There's like office buildings right next to all these amazing things.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's what's so funny about the whole bombed out ex-World War II and World War I areas of Europe is that you can go to these cities that have these amazing, like in Germany, these amazing cathedrals and then big tall glass skyscrapers next to them because all the other buildings were destroyed.
Yeah.
So the new construction that went up doesn't look anything like
Yeah.
the old stuff, right? It's all 1950s plus stuff. And so it's like Art Deco building right next to, this amazing Gothic cathedral with like gargoyles and crazy stuff. And then it's even weirder to think about the fact that everything on this block got like destroyed by bombs, except this building was in perfect shape. Mm-hmm. Like there's some that were like, oh yeah, a couple of boards flew off the roof and that was it.
Yeah.
Like in London, there's some crazy areas of London where it's like the fires and all that. And this building's fine, but everything else got destroyed around it. It's crazy. Yeah.
There's a small town in Germany, kind of near where I was going to school, and apparently during the war there was something between, because where I was right across from Switzerland, and so there was some sort of deal or whatever that they had made with Switzerland that was like, hey, we're not going to bomb you, but just like do this with your lights and we'll know, okay, we don't hit that area, like keep your lights on or turn your lights off, whatever it was. And this town that was near where I was figured that out.
And so they did it too?
So they just started doing their lights too, and they didn't get bombed.
Yeah.
So wild.
The warm embrace followed by the cold steel shiv. You never feel it though, because he's like intoxifying this Kyle guy. You just get lost in his dreamy eyes,
Kyle's
his
great.
dulcet tones of his voice, and then you wake up dead.
Like, why am I dead? Kyle killed me.
Well, when Kyle put your soul in a bag, you don't go to heaven or hell. You're trapped in limbo. Right?
This is true.
That's the guarantee.
This is true.
So for all eternity, you're there. So you can blame all the hauntings you've experienced and all those paranormal activity
On
movies.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle and his bag of tricks.
Tempts you with pieces from his plastic collection.
Oh, he certainly does that.
Then one day he comes to collect.
Yeah, and then one day he comes to collect.
You
He
never
does
know.
do that. He
is.
How
It's funny
about-
because the first time I met Kyle, I go, didn't I meet you playing fiddle at the Crossroads once? And he just smiled. So, bad sign.
Bad sign.
Bad sign. Bad signs in your life. Are you the devil? No answer.
I
Just
can
the
neither
corners of his
confirm-
mouth curl up just a hair.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Why, sir, what gave you such a foolish idea is that?
Some people have lakes, some people have gardens, others have soul sacks.
Remember, well, you don't remember because you guys are way too young, but when I was a teenager, I could have sworn the devil was going to be from New Orleans. Because everything that happened when I was a teenager was bad juju, voodoo from New Orleans.
From New Orleans.
Yeah. The Ardennes is World War II and World War II, or World War I and World War II. It's a Yahtzee. It's funny to think that the Germans had to build so much of their larger armor-piercing weapons because the French had such good tanks at the beginning of the war.
Yeah.
Isn't that silly to think about? Everybody makes fun of the French for running the other direction with white flags and stuff, but they had the most formidable army on the planet at the beginning of World War II. And then about a week later...
there was no more. Yeah, that didn't work out for them very well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Turns out that didn't go as planned.
I think what's also crazy to me is that there's still like active landmines in
all over the place
in war zones.
Yeah.
Turns out those things are kind of dangerous to dig back up.
Just a little bit.
The devil comes down from Georgia. He's looking for a soul to steal. Turns out heavy armor struggles to turn around when flanked. Pop Chicken says, I don't believe that. I've never seen an active landmine in your city anywhere. Have you walked around a lot? Go to downtown anywhere and just go walking around. See if you make it out alive. See? Landmines are real. I don't even know how that logic checks out, but
I don't know either. Jason.
That's what I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna die on that hill during today's stream.
You want to elaborate?
Landmines. I grew up in Dallas, Texas, all the time. Landmines. Most of them when I was talking to my girlfriends.
Oh my gosh.
Ba-dumps.
Jason telling us about landmines.
Now that song is stuck in my head, but just the fiddle part.
The devil went down to Georgia?
Yeah, that's what Cannibalistic Zombie said. I know. I don't think I know that song well enough for it to get stuck in my head. So
I don't either.
That's
which is probably a good sign, because it would definitely get stuck in my head for sure. For sure. You can hear your mom yelling from the other room.
She's loud, isn't she?
She's definitely got a voice that can carry.
Yes. Funny.
Did you know what would happen when you brought...
Oh, exactly, Darth Mullen. The French army was fantastic. Their leaders, not so much.
Yeah.
Germany will never come through the trees. Let's bankrupt the country and place all of these defenses right out here in the open.
Well, the Germans were also powered by meth, so you have to give some credit to that.
They're powered by meth?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Methamphetamines in their chocolate.
Yeah. I'm not even kidding. The Blitzkrieg.
You can still buy the exact chocolates just without the methamphetamine in it.
That's how the Blitzkrieg was so crazy. They were all just on meth.
They're just on meth?
Yep.
Well, you have to remember that that kind of amphetamine was not a recreational drug. It was, it was speed. It was to get you to have more energy longer.
Yeah.
It was like Powerade.
Yeah.
It was like Powerade, but not.
That's exactly what it
bad
was.
for you.
That's back in the days before today. That was exactly what it was.
Eat these energy chocolates.
They used to tell you it was healthy.
That's crazy. Welcome to the jungle. I like that one too. Cannibalistic.
But yeah, that's still that same brand and that almost the exact same tin. You can still buy that chocolate. Isn't that nuts?
What is it called? Do you know?
I actually have a picture of it on my computer someplace from a post that I saw. No, because I saw that post and I had to save it. I was like, random. I save the most random pictures.
That's so
I have a
funny.
folder that's just called random stuff, and I go back and look at it every now and then because it's just crazy things like this that I find that I'm like, I gotta save that or I'll never remember that it's true.
Yeah.
And I'll go back and look at the folder every now and then. But yeah, same thing.
I saved one of those things on my phone a long time ago. It was a meme. I want to say it was from 2018, going into 2019. I think I still have it. I can pull it up, but it's like 2 stick figures, and one of them's got like a can of gasoline, and it has like in letters on one side it says like 2018 on one side, and on the other side it says 2019. It's like the person's like, thank God we're done with that one. It like goes into 2019. Hold on, it's funnier if I just pull it up. I'm not describing it very well. I'm terrible at describing things that are not painting related.
Papa Chicken
I'm
said
just bad at it.
Papa Chicken said Germany originally marketed meth to housewives so they could get more work done throughout the day. Then they saw potential and instructed troops to eat some chocolate about 40 minutes before the Blitz.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds, yeah.
Well, what do you think was in snuff boxes for the British Army? That's what that was.
Yeah.
Speed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right?
2016 to 2017.
Think of a bunch of people out snorting cocaine with rifles.
It's all yours. Yeah. That's pretty good.
I forget what happened. I just remember that it was one of those things where I saw it.
Does that say 2016?
Yeah.
You forget what happened?
What happened in 2016?
Who got elected in 2016?
Oh, yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
They were burning the country down.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why.
1.5 million
Hilarious.
tablets a month. Well, it turns out addiction is real.
1.5 million tablets a month? Oh, my God.
That's insane, right?
Still, super funny meme. I saved it. I was like, this is really funny.
All yours.
Yeah. It's the irony too.
The literal passing of the torch right there.
Yeah. The irony too is that you look at whatchamacallit, like literally 2 years later, it's like COVID. It's like, so it would have been much better served if it was 2018, 2019. Or 2019, 2020 or whatever it was. Like what a dumpster fire of a year.
All I remember about
Craziness.
2016 was the clowns. People were terrified of killer clowns.
What?
Yeah. They were worried that they were just going to get murdered by these, like, people dressed up as crazy clowns.
Is this a thing that I should be remembering, Jason, or is this just weird factoid of 2016?
You probably haven't seen that movie.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
That
that
sounds
was
good.
just, maybe, because I was in middle school.
Oh my God, you were in middle school
I was
in
in middle school
2016?
in 2016.
No, you were not.
I was in
Oh
8th
my
grade.
God.
I think. Maybe I was in 7th. Can't remember.
I don't know if you know this about Shelby, but she's really young.
I graduated from high school in 2011.
Well, I've got bad news for you. I was 8 years old when you were graduating
You're
high
10.
school.
Should have been 10.
No.
No, 8. No, I'm bad at math. Wow, I'm really struggling today, Chad. All right. Yeah. Enjoy it while it
Thanks for making me
lasts.
feel this way.
Thanks for making me feel this way.
You're welcome. That's what they pay me for.
Wasted. See what I have to deal with around here? This is my life.
I think you're doing all right over there, Jason.
I'm ignoring it. That's the only reason I'm alive still and semi-sane. Can't even say I'm sane, is that I just have learned to ignore you guys.
Or you jumped on the bandwagon.
Every now and then I get caught up in it. I always regret it.
Cannibalistic said struggling today.
Yeah,
Make a fair
I'm glad you said it.
Jason didn't want to say it, but he knew it needed to be said.
Primer should come off a glass palette, right? I believe so. It's paint.
My glass palette, I have to soak it in Fabuloso.
We love Fabuloso here.
That is a thing that did not exist in Seattle.
Fabuloso?
Not that I know of.
I love the
Probably
smell
not.
of it. It's so good. Like, it's supposed to be like lavender.
It's
or
lavender.
something. It does not smell like lavender. It
Oh,
smells like Fabuloso.
I guess that's
I don't know
true.
how to explain it, but...
I mean, it's definitely like a lavendery scent, but it is...
I do not get any lavender.
Pungent. It is a level of pungent that I would not have expected from a household cleaner.
Yeah.
It's quite something.
Yeah, I don't. Every time I walk back there and I smell it, I'm like, fabuloso.
Should we be worried that Shelby's sniffing Fabuloso back there?
No.
You might be worried about production if you're worried about Shelby.
No, I'm not worried about those knuckleheads. Those guys will be just fine.
Don't worry. Not huffing Fabuloso in my spare time.
Thank you for that visual, Shelby. Not.
That's what you're worried about. I'm here to tell you it's not happening.
So I'm actually mixing some Nova Orange into the orange oxide. Or red oxide? Red oxide.
Wow.
She prefers Mr. Clean.
Orange oxide.
Your wife grew up with Fabuloso. She can't stand it. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a southwestern thing. We only started using it because we used Simple Green for the longest time. Industrial Simple Green. It's not called Simple Green, but it was like that, right? There's an industrial version of it that you can just get in the pre-diluted big, huge gallon things or 5-gallon things. And so we were using that for a long time, and they stopped carrying it at the supplier we had. They had a run. It might have been during COVID, now that I think about it. And so we had to switch to something else, and we had to run to Lowe's here locally and got Fabuloso, and then we're like, oh, this stuff works great.
Yeah.
And it smells better. It didn't have that fake pine scent. And so we were like, oh, this is not bad. So we stuck with it.
Fabuloso.
So now we're a Fabuloso factory. Well,
not quite.
We don't make Fabuloso.
we don't make it here.
Not quite factory Fabuloso over here.
I haven't ever I had never used it or smelled it before working here.
Fabuloso?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Great. I like it. I like these colors a lot, Jordan.
Why, thank you. Turns out, they were great colors to be used. We're gonna shade a little bit of burnt sienna here.
You said burnt sienna.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's looking very muscly, Jason.
He works out.
Yeah.
He frolics through the forest a little bit.
Frolics?
That's his workout.
He looks like a frolicker, doesn't he?
He does.
I feel like he looks like a frolicker.
Yeah. He definitely tries to do it when nobody's watching, though.
Oh, really? You think he hides his frolicking?
Yeah. He eats meth chocolate recreationally.
Probably also true. He picked it up off the dead German bodies.
Yeah.
I'm worried about this guy.
Well, he's half made of tree, so maybe you should.
I'm a little concerned. I think this guy's gotta figure some stuff out.
Spencer Reed, trying to get my local hobby store to get your stuff someday. It will happen.
Nice.
Nice.
Sometimes it takes longer than we like. Not all stores are very hobby centric as far as like locking in profitability from the hobby. So they look at their square footage and how much they earn with what's in that square footage very rationally, which is good. And adding another paint line is not always on their high priority list until they get some in, which is why we will set up stores that just carry sets as well, so they don't have to commit to the full lineup until they realize what a profit center it is for them. And that's like the first hits free mentality that we do with stores sometimes, because they'll get it and then they'll be like, oh, why did I not carry this before?
Papa Chicken said, is he made of tree or is he wearing tree?
Yes.
That's exactly what Mo said.
I think this is a column A, column B, getting a little mixed here sort of situation.
I really can't tell, though, now that you bring it up. T-Schmidt, we are working on it, actually. Gabe has been... Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has a list of all of the labels that he wants to update and put barcodes on. So, TBD. Darth Mullen said that he tried to convince 2 of their local hobby stores. No avail. Space. And people are more after models. Then you paint to paint those models.
Yeah, exactly. For a bunch of stores, paint lines are last. If they have, they have to carry Citadel if they want to carry Games Workshop. That's part of the deal. So they force you to. And Citadel is a great intro into the hobby because it's on the back and in the manufacturer's list of paints you should use to paint your Ultramarines and whatever other models you dove into in 40K, which is everybody's gateway drug.
It's true.
And we applaud them for that. They do a great job of that. I was just talking to a gentleman today about how that's kind of the way that our hobby starts people off. And then our goal is to lead them further down the artistic line with more techniques and more flexible paints that will do more than just, get your space toys painted up quick when you've made that jump and you want to paint easy armies and then be able to rely on your tools to take you further down that road as you grow. Then you're going to want to paint like Procurl. And some stores have to be on that same journey, right? They have to start that journey understanding what their current lineup is good for. And then if they want to take that journey into helping people with more of the artistic side of miniature painting, then, because we've all known it, you walk into a store that has like every paint line, right? Or you walk into a store that has Citadel Army Painter. Mm-hmm. That's it. And they've had it that way for a decade. And they're like, why do I need more? I have these. Or they have Vallejo or something like that. We totally get it. We talk to those people all the time at trade shows and such, and they'll be like, so I have a lot of customers that, tell me I need to carry your line. Why? And our biggest sell point is all the other dealers that have it will tell them, we say, hey, contact these people that are just like you, have stores, and they'll tell you why it made sense for them. That's better than us being able to tell you anything.
It's true.
And our stores are super loyal. Whether they sell the other paints or not, they're loyal to us because they know what our brand does for their store from a business standpoint. I can sit here and tell you it's the best paint and, oh my gosh, look how easy it paints and blah, 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 blah. But if a store doesn't care, if the owner or the person making that decision doesn't care, what they care about is it going to make them money? Is it going to be available? Right? Mm-hmm. For paints, that's the biggest thing. Because during COVID, so many of the other lines were not available because all those companies shut down. We were one of the only ones in the world that was still working and manufacturing during that entire time. And that literally gave us the ability to compete at a level that nobody expected from us.
Spencer Reed asked, why glass palettes over wet palette?
That's a preference thing. Jason uses a glass palette. I use a wet palette. Jason and I paint very differently. I use a lot of micro blending of colors together when I paint. I do a lot of in between mixes of colors as I'm building up layers on the model. Jason just approaches that process differently. You use a lot less of those sort of mixes. So for me, having those mixes be active even a little bit longer than they normally would is beneficial for the way I approach painting. But Jason doesn't do that, doesn't need to do that. So you're having the paints directly in one drop on your palette works really well for you. And then you can pull it and mix it as you need, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've just done this my whole life. I've been painting for over 45 years, and I didn't want to change. The wet palette is too much maintenance for me for what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get models painted. I don't want to have to mess around with a piece of paper that keeps wadding up on me as I'm painting because it's getting wet and then evaporating water off of it, and it curls at the edges and dries out, and I got to add water. That's just something that's outside. None of that helps me paint my models. So for me, that's always been my hot take on it. And I don't feel like it adds anything to my process. I've used it many times. We recently used a wet palette on stream for me to paint an entire model to show people how I would take my technique and use it in that situation with that technology. It's very valid for people I think it's a great learning tool. And like any learning tool, if you develop your process with it and you get comfortable and build your confidence using that tool, then you'll keep using that tool, right? Like I've met construction workers who use a particular tool that I'm like, it's obsolete. Why do you use that? And it's like, well, I just always have, you know? It's like, they make this. Yeah, but I like this and it works. Why would I'm not finding myself either going too slow, not making enough money, or not doing good quality work. So why do I need to change? And that's 100% the truth. So whatever you use is the right tool. We always say that, regardless of brand or item, whatever you use in your process that gets the finished product to be something that you're comfortable and exciting to have made is the right tool for you. Brush, paint, palette, whatever. Wet palettes are they have been the buzzword and kind of the rage for a while now in our industry because most of the paint companies in the hobby world get their paints manufactured by what are called coatings companies. And those coatings companies, their primary business is making house paint. And I say this a lot, right? But it is the truth that a company that's main paint range is house paint, that's where they make billions of dollars, already has that locked in. They know how to make paint like that. So when you want to put it in small bottles, you take the same philosophy and just overlay it into a way to put it in small bottles. So a lot of that paint is thicker, like house paint. Not quite as thick as house paint, obviously, that wouldn't be functional, but is thicker paint to suspend all that pigment in it because that's what house paint does. That's just the science behind it. It makes sense. It works. There's no need to change it. But when you're painting a three-dimensional object at the scale we're painting, we don't want paint to be thick. So the wet palette helps thicker paints become not so thick and become quicker to use when you want to put your brush in the color and then put it on the model. They will help to enliven and keep mixes going longer, which is why Jordan loves them, which is true. There's not enough variation when you're mixing 2 or 3 colors together to ever really alter it, where I need to keep it live. I just continually mix them together on my palette. But yeah, so it works great for that. Our paint is manufactured to be usable right out of the bottle for its feel, its thinness, and paintability, we'll call it. And the only reason you really need a thin pro-acryl is one of 2 things. For opacity, so if you want to glaze or layer, you don't want it to be as intense, then you start thinning. You don't need to thin. I don't thin my paints. Like let me go this real quick. So this is the palette I'm using right now, is just this piece of palette paper, and I'm right here. Oh, you can't even see it. I'm right here. I'm using this bright shadow flesh, right? So I've got bright shadow flesh. I've got a little bit of the orange brown, and I have been mixing those 2 together to get the colors I need along with khaki. So I have these 3 colors I'm using, and I'm just kind of mixing them and blending them as I need, and it just is more free form for me. I don't ever really have one pool of color that I'm expecting to use again, because as I'm going on the model, I'm either brightening or darkening that color as I work into various areas at this stage of the model. In previous stages, I'm usually just using one color, not mixing much at all. And so it works fine. But you can see how most of mine are little spots of paint that then blend out with all the colors around them. That's just the way I use my palette. And that comes from, the before times when all there was the, how do you paint on a canvas was the only knowledge that was out there. Nobody was teaching you how to paint sculptures because nobody did that, right? So it's really just a preference thing. You do you. Space toys. But thicker paints do a lot better on a wet palette and kind of use it so that they become more usable by you quicker. Our paints just don't need that. Your local store tried our paints at a con and started stocking it the next week. That's awesome. Yeah, Jordan and I will be at the shows, and that's what our main focus is to let people put hands on the paint. You know, we keep these Space Marine models around for them to try out and play with, and that works really, really well for allowing people to see what's different about it, to put it to the test, right? Because I can say this all day, and you'll be like, oh, yeah, that sounds great. But until you have it in your hand and compare it to the feel of other paints and see what it does, you'll never really know. So we do that live at shows, and a lot of the retailers will do exactly that, right? They'll come up and play around with it, and they'll be like, oh my God, now I see why people like it. Or a lot of times retailers will tell their customers, hey, are you going to Gen Con, Adepticon, or whatever? Stop by the Monument booth and, talk to them. See what you think about that paint. Because like I said, not every owner is a painter, right? Even some of the biggest like Warhammer supporting stores and biggest wargaming stores rely on their customer base to kind of guide them when it comes to art supplies. The number of stores that we have that are like, oh yeah, my main painters all love Prochrome, so we want to talk to you about carrying the range because they've got everybody really demanding it and blah, 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 blah. And that's awesome because that's you guys as the community really making it work. And that's huge.
Yeah, you guys really drive a lot of the interest in the stores, right? If you all go to the store owners and you say, hey, we want to buy this stuff from you guys, and there's enough of you to go, oh, the people really want to have this stuff from us. Well, we'll bring it in and see how it goes.
Yeah, I wish I had the numbers of how many, stores do like weekly paint night and got sick of seeing Pro Acryl on the table from so many of their customers and them not making any of the money off of it, Yeah. And we're like, well, we'll set you up. We can fix that. We have a solution.
We can fix that for you.
But again, it takes them putting more product on their floor, and that's not always the easiest thing to do.
No, it's not.
We get it.
Oh, I just remembered a thing. I remembered a thing.
What?
Oh, I just remembered a thing I want to talk to Jason about.
Oh. Hopefully don't forget the thing.
Hopefully it's how to make Diablo 4 fun.
No.
That'd be great.
Just try a different game.
That's one of my biggest problems. You're hitting on it, is that I refuse to back down. People tell me that, like people in chat are like, just keep at it, man. Just keep banging your head against the wall. It gets fun. And I'm like, man, I'm level 100. I'm not running the super high tier stuff. I'm at like tier 8 on the pit or something like that. I'm at, I don't know. Yeah. I've killed all the Uber bosses except for Lilith.
You've beaten the game, Jason.
I feel like it, yes.
You've beaten the game.
I feel like it.
Turns out when you can do all the content, when you can do all the content, you've beat the game. This is why I don't like that game. Because there's not enough difference between the content at the end of the game. And
it was more fun at the beginning when every piece of gear you got was like, ooh, it made me look at it and feel good.
Like, I need to get this specific piece of gear or these couple pieces of gear, and then I should be able to do that thing that's really hard.
Paint Liquor's like, oh, you wanted Diablo 4 to be fun? I should have known it's a Blizzard game. No. Yeah. I went in with the wrong attitude.
Tishman, I saw that game and I wanted to get it.
What? Which one?
Core Keeper.
Core Keeper, I've heard, is pretty good. It doesn't look like my kind of game, though. I look at it, it looks like your kind of game. Like, I immediately thought of Shelby when I saw that game. But the way it's sold is it says it has all the best parts of every game you love. And I'm like, are they talking to me? Because this doesn't look like it has all the parts of the games I love.
I'm not sure.
But then I watched the video, and it does have a lot going on. It's just it also has a lot of things I don't care for, like farming and all that kind of crap, right?
Oh, okay.
You played Core Keeper all weekend, Cannibal?
Keeper?
Yeah, it gets great reviews. Yeah, like T. Schmidt said, I don't normally like crafty survival games, but you're loving this one. Does the crafty survival just are they able to make it not feel painful? Right? Ben, Jason, are the transparent single pigment? Yes. Yes, there is a second pigment in brown, but you'll never know it. Like it will never act that way. Right? But brown is a hue, so but all the other ones are single pigment. Yes.
So I think honestly, as an alternative option, I do genuinely think you would enjoy Space Marine. I do.
Maybe.
Even
Maybe. I haven't thought. You know, it's weird. I haven't even once thought of buying it.
Right? Yeah, it's weird to me.
So that's a thing that is odd to me because generally but I haven't been excited about a Warhammer video game since Dawn of War 1 came out.
I am,
and I didn't like it, so that was why I didn't get excited again.
I think they do a spectacular job of capturing the essence of like really cool Space Marine-y stuff.
I've heard that. Everybody says it really does a good job of immersing you in the kind of 40K universe.
Yes.
That they did a very good job of capturing that, which I feel like that's cool.
That's like the story's whatever,
and a lot of the stuff. I mean, I've heard that they didn't monetize you with all of the upgrades. You just have to play the game more, and then you can get everything.
Basically, nothing that you can buy to progress your character.
Yeah.
Or honestly, even very little that you can buy to make your character look cool.
Well, that's the thing. I think most of the cosmetics are unlocked. Like 90% of the cosmetics are unlocked by the stuff that isn't in like the Ultimate Edition purchase of the game is all unlocked by playing the game.
If I play 35 missions in operations as a tactical Space Marine, I will look freaking dope.
Yeah.
And it's super cool, and I'm excited to get there.
That's cool.
And then, but the cool thing is, it only unlocks it for one character. So if you want to play a different class, you got to play that class and things to level it up.
It has the War Machine grind.
Yeah,
you know,
it's got
or
a
not
grind
War Machine,
to
Warframe.
Yeah, but it's not as bad as Warframe, to be completely honest with you. It's really not. You just got to play the game.
Game Delay says survival games. When you decided having a job wasn't enough a job. Yeah, kind of. Cannibalistic says it's more exploration. I might give it a shot. The Core Keeper one. I'm not opposed to cutesy pixel-based games, right? Because obviously I am a huge Noida fan, and Noida is just a silly pixelated game, and it's one of the best games ever made.
You just don't like the grinding for materials thing, where like with crafting, right?
Yeah, I don't. Okay, so I don't like Game Delay hit it on the head. I don't like games that make me feel like it's a job.
Yeah.
Right. I don't like games that when I load in, I have dailies I have to do or things die.
Yeah.
I never had a what is it called?
Tamagotchi.
The pet thing.
Tamagotchi.
Forget that thing, man. I do hard. I can't even keep plants alive. Right. It's amazing my dog is still alive. And that's because she feeds herself. I don't like games that feel like a job where I have to go tend to the carrots, go water this thing, go do this stuff, go do this, do this, and then you forget. You're like, oh, my carrots died.
That's such a specific
it just
thing to
sucks so bad.
Carrots.
It sucks so bad.
Yeah.
I just can't do them. I can't do them. And like the survival games some survival games are really cool, but the ones where you're like, I'm running out of oxygen. And I'm like, oh, come on, really?
Yeah.
You know, or I'm thirsty. And I'm like, oh, really? I'm just about to go fight the dragon. You know, next thing they're going to be like, I need to take a poop. And it's like, oh, I got to go dig a latrine and I got to... And then you're like, oh, I didn't bring any paper. Do I have the right stuff to make toilet paper? I can't wipe, so now I'm at minus 10 strength when I go fight the, or minus 20 charisma when I need to go find the girl to sell me the stuff to wipe my butt, so now it costs more. Those games drive me bananas, dude. It's like the problem with Elite that I'm having right now. I love Elite Dangerous. I want to love it. I go back to it every year, and I play really hardcore for a bit, and then I remember why I hate it. And it's because I mentioned it. They brought this engineering stuff to where just like Diablo or any of these games. It's that function of you buy your ship, you outfit it with all the weapons you want, and then where do you go from there? So they brought engineering in where you can tinker with all of your stuff and upgrade it along these paths. You can choose, do you want your weapons to have more damage, or do you want them to be more energy efficient, so you can put, like higher power weapons in ships that wouldn't normally be able to handle that much energy grid. You have these choices. Mm-hmm. You can only make one choice, right? So you get all these builds you can make, which at its core sounds really fun. I'm like, oh, that's a great thing to bring to Elite. It makes it more, like I can do more after I bought the in-game ship. Now I can tool it up and go do amazing things. But the problem with it, you can't buy anything in that progression path. They made it to where you have to, for some reason, in a game where you have this economy where you can trade your way to billions of dollars. I can go pick up Whoozy Whatsits on Planet X and transport them halfway across the galaxy for 500 million credits, right? And it's just like, I can space truck, put on some Leonard Skinner and fly my spaceship, whatever, and make hundreds of millions of dollars. And what can you do with those hundreds of millions of dollars? You can buy another ship to carry more stuff around. What you can't do with your hundreds of millions of dollars once you're space rich is buy the materials to upgrade your components. You have to go farm this nonsense.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, you have to go pick fruit from trees. Is one of the things. Like, you have to go get these damn things off the
grocery store and buy.
Yes. Why can't I sell it on a market to other players? If you like farming that stuff, you do you.
Yep.
How about I give you some money for that, and then you can go buy more
How about
space stuff.
You go farm stuff for me, and I'll go upgrade my stuff.
Like, I like fighting, so I want to go blow stuff up and then be able to engineer my stuff. But the whole game is on this very linear engineering path. You have to do it whether you like it or not. There's a million YouTube videos on how to engineer your stuff quickly, and they all are the exact same video. Go to this one planet with this one loadout and blow up these trees and pick up all the fruit, and then log out of the game and log back in, and the trees will respawn and blow up the fruit again, and then pick up the fruit. Do that until you have enough. And you're like, how much is enough? And then they give you the list of how much is enough, and you go, click, Control, Alt, Delete. I'm not
doing this.
I'm not doing it because I can be out shooting stuff. What the...
Yeah.
Why do game developers do this to you?
I don't.
When it was right in front of them that they could make it so easy for people that wanted to go do the farming, and then put it on a marketplace and have there be a demand for it, and then I could go farm the way I like to, which is go blow stuff up for money, right? Or turn Leonard Skinner on and space truck for a couple hours when I don't want to go blow stuff up because I'm not feeling like stressful things. And then bring my lots of money to the marketplace and say, yes, Mr. Gouging the market, here are hundreds of millions of my space monies. Please give to me the things that make my guns better.
I think that what happens is developers that make games like that are not always... They either don't want to build the economy because they don't understand how to make it function properly, or they just aren't in tune enough with what...
I think it's like Diablo 4. I think they don't play their own damn game.
Yes. 100%.
I think they're all jaded with the project that's taken 80 million years to finish.
Yes.
And you saw it at War Machine. What happened at Privateer Press? The people that were working on the game didn't like playing the game anymore. So that's why we got the Infernals and blowing it up and all that crap.
Well, they had their own problems that were sort of different than that.
I mean, I've talked to like Hungerford and stuff, and none of them really liked it. They all wanted to go make the next game.
Well, yeah. Yes. To some extent.
So, but it added content. We can add 20 hours to the game by making people farm forever. Yeah, exactly. Oh. Straight up semi driving in space. Oh, there is Star Trucker. Yeah. Tech Elf, what's going on? Yeah, I don't know. Video games are not built for me much anymore. It's funny that the one game I find that I really fell in love with was Noida. And had I read the description of Noida, I'd have been like, are you insane? And then I went and played it, and I was like, this is the best game ever.
I love that you fell in love with that game as much as you did. It's so funny to me that happened.
And they never have to change that game.
No.
Like, I could literally go boot it up right now and just be like in love all over again.
Yep.
It's so good.
At least until you died a bunch of times.
Well, it's just like the Dark Souls games. I could play Dark Souls every year for the rest of my life and be fine with it. But it would finally get to a point, I'm already to that point, where it's too easy. In order to challenge myself, I'm like, I'm going to bare fist through the whole thing. I'm going to play shield only and beat Dark Souls, and that's where it becomes an I don't.
Yeah.
So.
Did you ever pick up Wukong?
Yes.
Uh-oh. Oh, you did, and you didn't like it. I remember that. Yeah.
Nah, I hate games that are on rails, and Wukong's on rails.
I remember that you said you had purchased.
It's made by a phone game company, and you can tell. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Tremendous. And the first fight, opening sequence, splendid.
Yeah.
Have you played it?
I've watched it. I have not played it. I haven't purchased it.
Yeah, the opening sequence of it is amazing, and maybe just be like, I'm going to love this game. And then an hour into it, I was like, I hate this game. Not hate, but I haven't turned it back on. That's your new description for survival games, the latrine digger genre. It should be, right? It's like, come on, man. Don't make me drink water. What the hell are you talking about?
I hope you'll give...
They should hook IVs up to you and like brain scanners. Then I would play it. Then it was real. Like, it's like it has like, you're dehydrating, you will die. And then it makes me drink water. And I drink water. And then it's like, thank you for drinking water. And then I can play the game more.
Yeah. I'd be worried about that because I feel like the game would just be like...
It's like, Jason, I think you need to pee. Are you sure you want to enter the dungeon right now?
Go outside and exercise. Don't eat pizza every 2 seconds for the rest of your life.
Mo, on rails means that it has a very linear progression, and if you get to a spot that you run into that you're not liking the game, you have no choice other than to play through that spot you don't like. There's not choices in Wukong. All the maps are point A to point Z, and all the points in between you got to go through. And it just feels bad. I think the biggest part is you can tell it's developed by a company that only makes phone games because it's beautiful in this 360-degree panoramic view, and you can't go further than 10 feet from where you're standing at any given time.
What?
It has like, you're on a road with these cool things and stuff in the distance and sunlight flickering through the trees. It's beautiful on the settings I've got running. It's just beautiful. And I want to go walk there like Dark Souls has taught me you can and go and explore that. And you go 1 step, 2 step, invisible wall. That makes no sense. Like the invisible wall could be like not even at the edge of the road where it makes sense, or like on a mountain. Most games will do it to where you go up to the mountainside and then you can't jump up the rocks that look like you'd be able to climb them. No, it doesn't even have it has the audacity to say you can't walk past these trees that are 80 feet apart. It just is an invisible wall. So on flat ground.
Do you dislike those games in all variations of that type of thing? Or is it okay in a game that's heavily...
I've discovered my hatred for these games at Resident Evil 4, I think.
What about a game that's like super heavily narrative driven, where it's like you're just following the story?
So Inside,
yeah,
I really enjoyed, and it's very linear. It's a side scroller, and it's a linear story. Your story starts here, it goes to the end, and then backtracks a little bit to finish. Yeah. But that was a story game. Sure. Yeah, so if there's a narrative and I'm playing, there was The Vanishing of Ethan Carter was really superb, and it was very linear. But you knew you were playing a book. Yeah. That was the whole deal. You're instead of reading, you're being narrated this story, and you're just moving buttons to move me to the next narration point. But I knew that going in, so that was involving.
Kind of like God of War, but God of War actually has some open world elements now. But like the old God of Wars were... very like it was like that. You were on rails. You only could travel.
Prince of Persia, same things. Yeah, so I never finished any of them.
Yeah, but I
get halfway through, enjoy my time playing them, and then be like, "This is stupid," and then stop because it's all just the same fight. After just throw more minions at you and linear. That's why you can. It takes Donkey Kong and skins it better. It takes Pac-Man and skins it better. Yeah, And so it's very difficult for me to say because a lot of the like Vampire Survivors I like, and you could say it's very linear because it's very repetitive, but it always scales each level differently. So you go back and play it again and again and again. And I don't know. Like I said, games aren't made for me anymore. Yeah, Inside's amazing, right? And the other one that company did was tremendous too. Your instinct is to do mini painting the way I did video games, hard mode only, no guides, and use the smallest amount of potions because I might need them later. Yeah, Awkwardness is like, I didn't come here to get Limbo. That's what it was, right? Inside and Limbo. Both amazing games. Just they went by too fast. They were like 4-hour games. But I mean, they also only cost like $5.
Well, I remember when you
So that's really good money spent, in my opinion. Because you can go back and play them again and again and again. I think there's a couple of endings for Inside, too. I don't remember. I only played through it once.
I do like those games that have alternative endings depending on things that you do or choices
you make, right? And that is fun. I don't know that without finding that out on the internet that I would ever know that because I would never go back and play them again. Mostly, I don't do that very often. I don't know. I'm at heart, I'm a PvP guy. Yeah. I want the game to really be more about your skill with the game and going and playing against other people and having fun that way, or If it's something like Space Marine where you can co-op it and you're just trying to get a bigger score going through the...
It does have PvP.
The deal. Oh, it does have some PvP too?
Yeah, it's very slow-paced. Do you ever play Gears of War?
It's on rails, and I didn't like it, but yes, I played it.
Well, it is also on rails, and you may not like that aspect of it, but it is...
That's the reason why I don't think I thought about buying Space Marine, because most of the Warhammer games are like that. They're very, get to this checkpoint, do this thing, get to the next checkpoint, do this thing, and the checkpoints are just one long list of checkpoints to the end of the story.
It is that. I mean, it is telling a story. You're doing things on purpose going through these places, but yes, it is checkpoint to checkpoint.
Yeah.
But the immersion is really cool. I mean, one of the bad guy types is you can fight a Rubric Marine, and one of the executions for a Rubric Marine is you rip their head off, the helmet off, and they pop.
Sand?
And they pop, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there's like a purpley explosion, and the whole armor just falls apart. There's nobody inside.
Funny.
Yeah, it's super cool.
You stopped playing Zelda because it was just the same?
I love Zelda
the sword
games.
breaking. Yeah, that is frustrating. That is what has kept me away from playing Breath of the Wild, actually, is the fact that your weapons break.
Yes, I hated that about that game.
Well, like, I made fun of people for so long back when I was playing PvP games on stream most of the time, and I would say, hey, if you don't like PvP, go play Minecraft. And it was just my judgment on people, like, hey, look, scrub, or Care Bear, go play Minecraft. And and then one day chat bought me Minecraft. And said, go play Minecraft, right? Because I was not enjoying. And they were like, they gave me my taste of my medicine. I went and played Minecraft and got hooked immediately. I was like, this is an amazing game.
It's fun.
It's
like, this game is amazing. I immediately got into modded Minecraft and got all these mods downloaded, all this crazy technology. And it was like engineering grade stuff. And I found out they teach engineering classes with modded Minecraft in a lot of colleges and stuff.
That's actually amazing.
And so I downloaded these mods that made it to where the physics were as close to realistic as possible. And the things that are able to be done in that game are pretty insane. When you get away from just the base,
you can
kid,
download,
voxel, block, dig, build stuff game.
You can download a mod that lets you make nuclear reactors.
Geothermal energy.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
insane.
It's crazy. Anyone else excited for Satisfactory 1.0? What do you mean 1.0?
Is this still in early access?
A different release? It's been out forever.
Yeah, I didn't...
Suddenly Jason is into Minecraft.
You've never gotten into core Minecraft? You need a mission? There is a mission in core Minecraft.
Yeah, there is an end game.
There is an end game.
There are credits that roll.
Believe it or not, you get to the end, which is called the end, and kill the Ender Dragon, or whatever it's called, right?
It is the Ender Dragon, yeah.
Kill the Ender Dragon, and it's done. Roll credits.
Man.
It left early access today, and they added a bunch of stuff to the 1.0 release. Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's
cool. Not one that the game tells you. I mean... okay, true. Minecraft did a horrible job of letting you know that there was something to do in it other than just explore. It kind of led you that as you found these things, but how you would ever know to build the gate?
Oh, yeah, you'd never know.
Is pretty crazy, You found a full body photo of Baby J online. You now acknowledge his legs exist. How funny.
Yep, you found a picture of me at Hayden's wedding.
Paint Liquor, you played Minecraft when they first released it. It did not have an end. I never played it back then. We wound up having a server where everybody on stream would be able to come and play and build their stuff, and as long as they didn't grief. And we had an absolute ton of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Because people that have been playing Minecraft forever would immediately come in and speed build this thing with this thing where you could come summon the dark gods on all this craziness and blood magic and all this. It's amazing. I'd come in and I'd look and I'd be standing around going, are you kidding me? You've been on the server for like 3 hours. What in the world is this?
Yes. You'll love...
Scott, what's going on?
So there's one thing that I love to do in Minecraft when everybody's playing, and you will totally know it's exactly very much me. I love building huge, ridiculous castles for everybody to do all of their stuff in. I just go build fancy, crazy, insane stuff, make it all look all pretty and architecture stuff.
My shtick is a latrine, like an outhouse, and you go in the outhouse, and then it's all this underworld, crazy stuff.
Yeah,
like I build hidden gems.
That's awesome.
Like a little nook, like a little hole in a cave in the wall, and you go in, and you press the thing, and the door opens, and then you jump down, and if the door closes, you take the elevator down, and all of a sudden you're in like this expansive world that has like glass ceilings where you can see the fish under the ocean and all that kind of crap. That's what I like building.
Me, I go, hey.
I cleared out more water tiles, getting rid of a huge
God.
section of ocean to build a huge house underneath it, and did that on stream and had the most viewers I've ever had in my entire life clearing water in Minecraft.
I have played Minecraft to know.
It's so silly.
Enough to know that is a nightmare.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, absolutely crazy. Because you got to get sponges.
Well, water blocks are awful.
Yeah.
Because water is very weird in Minecraft.
Yeah, it doesn't work the way you hope it does.
Yes.
There are these sponges you can go farm that will actually erase a water tile and keep it gone.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It may be a mod.
The children yearn for the mines.
We need a Monument Minecraft server.
Do.
I'm not doing it. We had this conversation when you first hired on, Gabe, and I was like, as long as you run it, I ain't doing it.
I'd be down to do Feed the Beast with the crew, but it's got to be modded. I won't do unmodded Minecraft.
Your house has a bunch of benches and a tight enough squeeze that you don't get eaten at night. Yeah, exactly.
It's funny because when I play Minecraft, I'm never playing it with an end goal in mind.
You what?
I'm never playing Minecraft with an end goal in mind. Like I don't go into it being like I'm gonna get to the Ender Dragon or whatever like that. I've never done it and I have no desire to.
My big thing is because Minecraft, I'm not a well-versed Minecraftian. I go out and I'll look and I'll say, what's fun in Minecraft? And I found out about the sky seed, where you just start on the sky block and you have a tree and a bucket of water and whatever they give you, right? And you have to build your world from that.
Yeah.
You know? And I did that. And I got to where I did that and killed the Ender Dragon and was like, okay, that's fun. But that felt so guided that it lost some of the mystique of Minecraft. So a lot of times back in the day, I haven't played it in years, but I would go out and find a new mod that would add a new source of electricity that you could build. You know, like there's one that requires you to string wires from electrical conduit all over the place. Yep. And so that was super rad, because then I had to build my whole building differently to be able to build chases where you could wire these nodes. And the math behind it was really cool because the linked amount of nodes reduced the power like it really would. It added resistance the whole way. So you'd have to build new charging stations along the way to power your house out in the yard for your garden and all that. Automated gardening tools and stuff like that. So that stuff I really loved. I didn't want to actually garden the garden. I just wanted to build the train that went around and grabbed the apples off the tree, and ran all the time. I wanted to see the machine done and then quit. I didn't care about it anymore, And, but when you can build like the automated machines that grow your bamboo, right? And so it just grows trims, or the skeleton making machine that just gives you XP, so you can XP to your heart's content. Yep. Those things are rad. Or what's the big bad boss that's made out of skulls? You put 3 of the heads together.
Oh, it's
creates the floaty ghoul guy.
What's it called?
I made an automated machine that just cranked those out.
Yeah, Wither.
I made an automated Wither machine that cranked them out and killed them instantaneously, so you got all the goods from that. It's just like this super farm. Yep. So those things, we had to put it a long way away because every now and then it would blow up and destroy everything around, or he'd get loose and you didn't want him anywhere near your base. So,
I think for me, my favorite thing about that is each individual mod is kind of like its own sub game within Minecraft. So you go, this sounds really interesting, so I'm gonna do. There's like a tool one where you build like a literal smith, like a smithing furnace, and you can melt different metals together, and you can create alloys, and you can make weapons out of the alloys or things, and they all have special stats and things like that. You can get pickaxes that mine in a 9 or a 3x3 grid instead of just one block at a time.
Flapjack is saying, how do you even Minecraft now? They've added so much to the game. After you beat the Ender Dragon, there's now a whole new end realm with end cities and stuff like that. Yeah. Yep. They've changed the pigs and all that stuff too, right? Mm-hmm. They keep changing it. So I haven't played since all that stuff happened. I hadn't even Minecraft at that point. I mean, the Skyblock is really fun because you can create cobblestone with the lava and the water, but you got to build the machine just right. It gives you you got to make more dirt and then you make your cobblestone, and if you mess it up and lose it, you just have to start over because you can't get the stuff again unless you go into cheat mode and spawn it back in.
Yep.
You know, so it's really easy to mess up Skyblock and those games where you have to start with no resources, and they give you just enough to know that you can literally build the whole world out of it, but you know, you got to do it on your own.
Yeah, it's all about being able to generate resources out of basically nothing.
Flapjack, we won't talk about that. In my opinion, they have not made a movie. Why would you ever make a movie
Oh yeah, it's so
off of
weird.
Minecraft?
Yeah, it's
Other than a
unnecessary.
cash grab, there's no reason to do that. That's all that is. I mean, you knew it was as soon as you saw Jason Momoa and Jack Black in it. You're like, okay, cash grab kid movie.
Yeah,
Yep.
pretty much.
Bad CGI sheep. I watched that trailer and I was like, this has got to be an April. It's not April.
Are
Yeah,
they?
why is it not April?
It's not April 1st. I don't even understand what I'm watching.
Is it live action?
Yes.
So it's like blocky?
Yes.
They have CGI blocky the CGI blocky world. They've got Jason Momoa with like pink hair, and Jack Black is Steve. And I'm like, no, you're not. The whole internet is like, no, you're not. It's like, we love you, Jack Black. You're great, but no, you're not. Come on, man.
Wow.
Go back to telling Chancho sometimes you like to wear stretchy pants.
Yeah. That's awful. I could see them doing like an animated one and it being like better, but the fact that it's live action is
It's weird.
that's
as weird as you think it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm picturing something pretty
Well, I mean,
weird.
it's no different than them trying to make that stupid video game movie they just did.
Which one?
The FPS shooter on the
Oh, Borderlands?
Borderlands.
Oh God. Oh.
Yeah. Like, what is up with Hollywood right now?
It's a bunch of people who are
I
like.
feel like they're just trying to lose money.
Well, it's. I think I don't remember who said it, but I was talking to somebody about it, and they're like, "Well, the situation is, somebody's like, hey, let's make a movie." They write a script and they hand it off to a director who knows nothing about it,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Here you go."
Good point.
And they're like, "Cool, I guess I'm gonna make this movie. Let's do it. Let's get some popular actors in because I don't know what's going on, so we're gonna just get some friendly faces in that everybody knows." And then it turns into a
It is kind of
poop
odd
fiesta.
that it feels that way a lot. That it's like it's like, does anybody involved in this actually understand what they're dealing with? But then we could talk about how The Witcher and the whole, internet sniping around Henry Cavill being the only one that cared about the lore and keeping it, true to form,
Yeah.
and they got rid of him, or he quit, or whatever,
I mean, you could make a great Borderlands TV show, and it would be great. But you have to understand.
Okay, see, I have to stop you there.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no need for that. There's
I
no
don't
story
think there
worth telling
is.
behind Borderlands. It's just a bitchin' game.
Yeah.
It's just fun to play with friends.
I think there's some interesting stories you could tell. I don't think it's necessary.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
You
somebody
can tell
wanted
all
to
of
do
those
it,
stories without it being about a video game.
sure.
Yeah. The
But-
video game didn't lead you to any of those stories.
Yeah.
You looked at the video game and said, that's an IP that'll make us some money. Now let's figure out a story that fits it. That's all you do.
Yeah.
Right? It's different from like if you were to tell me something that, like, if you were to convert the Alien video game was actually one of the best video games ever. It was damn scary. The one where Alien survival, I forget what the survival one was, right? Where you had to
I haven't played any of them.
Yeah,
So I
but
don't know.
that stuff was pretty amazing. So that, making a video game off of a movie, that I can see. Making a movie off of a video game?
I think it's fine.
Has that worked?
I mean,
I don't know about movies. The Fallout show was pretty good.
yeah, Fallout show is pretty good. But it also took some of the core narrative aspects of Fallout, and they made something that wasn't just ripped from a video game.
Yeah.
So Arcane is really good. It's I don't know if Arcane counts. Arcane is like, it kind of is just a video, like it's just a.
Okay, so Arcane is fantastic, but Arcane for most people is just an amazing tale that also ties into telling the backstory of a video game. So I'll give you that. It didn't. I think that was a really unique situation where they took the world of League of Legends, which again, like a Minecraft, is an IP that I think a lot of people would love to tie their horse to and say, how can we monetize this to a new audience? And they did a fantastic job. I hold Arcane up as one of the greatest works of animation ever done.
I would agree
And
with
the
that.
second one's coming out, and I'm stoked. right?
Yeah, it's like November.
We're going to
right?
get Warwick and a bunch of other stuff, you know. So I think that's good. But there was also a lot of lore in I say was, like it's done, but there's a lot of lore in League of Legends, right? You have to dig for it because they don't put it right on the face of the game, right? But there's a lot going on in that game.
Yeah, they've expanded it a lot in the last couple of years as well. And once they've started moving towards making games that have a little bit more narrative to them, they've definitely started pushing a lot more of that storytelling. There's a lot of it what used to be super generic when the game first came out, but it's definitely a lot more fleshed out now than it used to be.
But what really saved Arcane from this kind of discussion is that you didn't have Arcane trying to be a movie about playing the video game. Nothing in it was like playing the video game.
Well, I think that's the goal.
The
right?
Borderlands one is about playing the video game. It's literally like they took a session of you playing the video game and made it into a movie. Yeah, and I'm certain that's what the Minecraft one will be.
That's dumb.
There's no stories in those games.
Yeah.
I mean, the vault story in Borderlands is just a cover for a really needing to have something to talk about while you play this game. Because it's just a looter shooter. It's great. I love Borderlands, don't get me wrong. But, yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah, that is true.
Did people like the Castlevania anime? I don't know. They made more of it, didn't they?
I've heard that it's good. I've never watched it.
I don't know anything about it.
I felt like with the Fallout show too, because the game was kind of based off of like somewhat historical events, like that whole idea of like what would happen if like the world went to crap and we got nuked and whatever. And it was like, I feel like it just felt less video gamey. The show did.
Yeah, and I can see that too. Again, I would argue that why do you need to use a video game property to do that? Because every story you could tell from Fallout doesn't require any character from the video game to tell.
Yeah.
It's just a post-apocalyptic nuclear survival movie.
Right.
Right? It's the road warrior kind of thing. So again, I don't know that. I think that's just tying your horse to an IP for a money grab. Because there's nothing about Fallout in the game. There might be some characters along the way that are memorable in certain parts of the story, like New Vegas or something like that. But even then, not really.
Well, I think that what gets it for a lot of people, I think, is that they just like that world, and seeing stories that are a part of that world is cool.
Well, I understand that.
Yeah.
But my big gripe is that Hollywood has lost its inventiveness. It used to take risks, you know. It used to be. I had a conversation not too long ago that Hollywood used to have actors that would turn down roles that were not indicative of the integrity they wanted involved in their career.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And now you have Jason Momoa and Jack Black in a Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
And these are the big heroes of Hollywood. And it's like, oh wait. I feel like everybody is pulling the Sam Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson, I think, has been in more movies than any other movie star of all time because it's a job for him, and he works any job he's given.
Yep.
And that has a resounding effect, right? He's been in a lot of stinkers, probably more stinkers than good movies, because he just works, and that I can applaud. But if the whole industry becomes that, then you've limited the amount of quality you're even going to get because nobody's holding themselves to higher standards. None of these actors hold themselves to higher standards. And so Hollywood just runs ramshod with their ideas for these IPs that they're like, you know, oh, if we just go buy the Microsoft, you know, and get the is Microsoft Minecraft now? Did they buy Mojang?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so, you know, we just get the Microsoft license for, you know, and we'll be printing money. It's like, couldn't you have come up with something cool on your own?
Yeah,
I think that's just as a creative, that's the thing that boggles my mind the most. It's like, just do something creative. We experience it in game world. Look at all the games coming out right now. How many games are coming out with other people's IPs?
Too many.
You know, too many.
Too many.
What happened to taking a risk on creating something of your own? There's a love there, a dynamicism there that I think the customer agrees and approves of because they feel like they've grown it with you, maybe. Maybe I'm just too much of a romantic, and none of this makes a difference to anybody anymore. I'm really liking that dark blue in the shadows there.
No, I honestly, I agree with you when it comes to Hollywood's lack of inventive or creativeness.
Concord was new IP. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't anybody else's, I don't think, right? I don't know. But I don't think that was anything from a previous existing IP. That's a whole different story, right? I don't want to get into that argument. I didn't have any skin in that game. I haven't looked at that. I've kept up with the news around it because it's such a huge thing from Sony to shut down a game like a month or not even a month after it comes out. They shut it down as of just the other day. 100% servers shut down.
What is that?
Refunded all of the people that purchased the game.
What the heck?
Yeah, huge debacle.
I'll have to look into it.
I'm curious. But it's it was a game making a social statement, which I don't have anything against.
Oh, sure.
But I don't know. It didn't perform well, so. I've made a comment that for my escapism, I don't want it to feel like the news. And all video games and movies and tabletop war games and all that is escapism. It's what we do when we're not living our normal life. I know that sounds funny because obviously it's part of your normal life if you're painting on stream every day and making paint and selling paint. But I want my escapism to feel like it lets me escape from whatever it is that I've had either a rough day with or just it's been routine. Maybe it's not even that it's rough. It's just been the same as it ever was. And I want to go slay creatures on a video game. Or I want to go plant potatoes. Do whatever it is that I like in my escapist world. So I think that's what made that fail, it sounds like.
358.
358.
Shelby, you got a hard stop.
Hard stop.
Hard stop here.
Yeah, you can get out when you need to. We can shut it down if you want.
Hi, go Sue.
Did you ride in with Mom today?
Nope. I just have something right after.
Cool. Go see what's going on. You always wonder about why things get made, and it always feels like the worst results come from when the answer is to make money. I tend to agree with you. We have a philosophy here, and I can only stress that this is our philosophy at Monument, is that we want to make stuff like that we use, right? Mm-hmm. So we make things that we think fit a use and that we know fit our use, and then we're pleasantly surprised if you guys are crazy like we are and buy them. Right? Because then we get to make the next thing we would use. Monument Hobbies is a very selfish treasure trove of things Jason wanted to use in the world of miniature painting.
It's true.
Right? Yeah. And I mean, it's funny to say it that way.
It's worked out pretty good for us all.
But yeah, I mean, it's like I want to use these paintbrushes. I want to use these paints. If you've been around for a long time, you know this. I'm like, what I really thought would be cool is to do this. And sometimes it makes it to light, and you guys are crazy like I am, and you buy it. And then we get to go come out with the next new thing. And so that's kind of what we do. It's why we don't have a super extensive catalog like some of our competitors where they're buying everything off of, not to be named Chinese web store and stamping their name on it. That's them. We just don't feel like it's, whatever. We'll be as big as our customers believe in us and want us to be big. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
That's a fair statement.
We don't need to be $1 billion a year company. Our customers will make us as big as we need to be.
Yeah.
So, Flapjack, thank you. So that's my Kumbaya drum circle speech for the day.
Kumbaya drum circle.
Do more original stuff, chat.
Yeah.
It starts with us. We have to stop accepting mediocre dribble from people.
It's true.
100%.
It's true.
In everything you do, stop accepting mediocre nonsense. Whether it's going through a food line or whatever, stop accepting mediocre nonsense. Stop working your butts off in your life to earn your pay and then give it to people who do mediocre work. 100%.
Yeah, that's
100%.
great.
It's one of the
probably
biggest
apply it to
frustrations in my
anything.
life. That's my political statement as we head
Yeah.
into the thing. Stop settling for mediocre nonsense.
I don't even think that's political. I think that's
No,
just,
you can apply that to literally everything in your life.
that's just good,
Yeah,
good life
100%.
advice.
Just stop putting up with mediocre from yourself.
Yeah.
Don't put up with mediocrity from yourself.
Yeah.
Push to be better than you were yesterday today, and then better tomorrow than you were today.
Indeed.
You know? Don't be too hard on yourself. Not saying to beat yourself up. Tech Elf, Jason's passion will convince me to buy your products and support your... Well, thank you. That means a lot. Thank you. It's why you stop watching The Walking Dead. Why? Because you're settling for mediocrity?
Yeah.
I feel like anything that goes past maybe 3 or 4 seasons is probably going to
Yeah.
be a taxing deal.
4 is like that sweet spot where it's like the 4th season's usually pretty good. You get to 5 and you're like, this is kind of ending on a little rough route. And then once you get to 6 or 7, you're like, all right.
I had a brief friendship, and I say brief because when I lived in California, the first place I lived in California was right at La Brea and Beverly. So basically right in the thick of Hollywood, right? Or Beverly Hills. Not true Beverly Hills, but you could go up to Beverly Hills Boulevard, and Santa Monica Boulevard was like a walk from our house, right? Mm-hmm. And we rented the bottom floor in this big house that this ex author, I guess he stopped writing for commercial, but he was an author, and he and his wife owned this house, and they rented out the bottom floor. And so we lived in there as we were trying to find out where else we could go. And so I made some friends up and amongst there because I'd go eat lunch at this taco stand that a guy that I knew from hockey owned. And so this guy was there, and he was a writer for Hollywood. He wrote and screenplays and things like that. And one thing that I learned from him is because we were talking about this exact thing, the fatigue that shows will get over time. And he's like, if you know of any show that isn't following a book that goes super long, so like Harry Potter or The Lord of the Rings or something that they can't tell in one season and do a good job. He goes, if you don't have background material that suggests that it needs to go past season 5, don't trust anything that goes past season 5. That was what he told me. He's like, because past season 4 technically is just the money-making phase. He's like, they've decided to stretch it out because they know you'll continue to watch and they'll continue to make money on it. So
that's true.
See you, James.
Bye, James.
So there you go. Jason's passion
go.
is a company core value, Tech Elf, that's easily seen. Well, thank you.
All right, I gotta get out.
Yep. See you, Shelb. The Walking Dead was awful. It was tough because, and then there was MASH. Yeah. But even MASH, admittedly, had a tremendous ending, but they ended it like they did because it was getting to be that. It was so long in the tooth, right? But that was also a different time for television because that was the time of the actual sitcom, right? What was the last I mean, there's still sitcoms, but you're talking about the date of where like All in the Family, MASH, those things were literally just comedic repeats. Every week could be very similar. Yeah. And the overarching story was a thing. Nowadays, we're forced with these things that are like overarching stories that they stop telling themselves past a certain amount of time.
Yes.
Like, I thought the first season of The Walking Dead was worth watching, even though it wasn't like the comics.
It was good.
Right? It was good.
Yeah.
And then
even the first, 3 seasons.
And then I just kind of trailed off, and it didn't grab me to make me want to watch it anymore.
Yeah.
Right? But so the sci-fi books that I like so much that you like too.
The
show.
The Expanse.
The Expanse was the same. Gabe, you out of here?
I'm out of here.
All right, man. Take it easy. See you tomorrow.
I'm playing games if you want to hang out.
What's that?
I'm going to be playing some Satisfactory.
Oh, I might hit you up on the Discord. I don't have it, but I might buy it. Or maybe I do own it. But Gabe says he's playing Satisfactory all night long. But like The Expanse, same thing. The TV show just made me not. It's not that there was a point where I said this sucks. There was just a point where I stopped going back to watch the next episode.
The show is good. It does get
If you've
worse.
read the books,
yes,
I think you would get bored with it.
Yes. Well, I think the first couple of seasons are really strong. But like we're talking about, once you get past like season 4, things get a little boring.
6 episodes at the farm and you were done. I feel like the farm was a little long in the tooth, right?
The farm.
That was the one with the little girl in the barn. Am I thinking right? With where they first met
in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
In The Walking Dead. 13 seasons of Supernatural.
I like Supernatural.
Supernatural is good fun to just pick a random episode and watch it. Because you don't have to know anything about what's going on,
Yep.
and there's some fun stories there. There's also some real stinkers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Some real bad ones.
Yeah.
Unless you have a crush on Jensen Ackles or something, there's no reason to watch all of Supernatural. Supernatural is one where I went and I said, is there a listing somewhere, which I knew there was. Somebody has a blog that says, here are the ones you need to watch if you're interested in the storyline about his mom, dad, the devil, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so there is. And out of 13 seasons, I think it's 20 episodes. Maybe. Same with the X-Files. The X-Files, there's only, I think, 13 episodes of the X-Files you have to watch to get the whole story.
Yeah.
That everything else is the fluff. It's the monster of the week fluff that they do on those shows. So again, it's just at some point in time, if the monster of the week fluff becomes too extended, and for me to get one shadowy picture of the smoking man in the X-Files, and that's my storyline snippet, then there's nothing that I stick around to watch.
I think the beauty of Supernatural is like Papa Chicken's talking about. It's campy on purpose, and if you don't like, the idea is that you just don't care about it being good, and you just enjoy it for the humor and for the wonky.
Like I said, just pick an episode and watch it.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Great.
It's fun. Unfortunately, like shows like The Walking Dead can't do that because it has an ongoing story.
Correct.
And it stops telling the ongoing story in a way that you want to, or that some people want to see. Other people love it, But I never have gone back to any of The Walking Dead. I've never gone back to watch the Daryl one in Paris or the Survivors one or the Megan one. I don't care about any of that stuff.
Do they even have? Does The Walking Dead have like a start to finish narrative?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Because like, man, I
mean, the
lost.
Story does if you read the comics.
Okay, because I think that was the problem that I had with the show is once you got like 3 or 4 seasons
if you had been tied up and invested in the Walking Dead comic book, you would have like come close to like ritual suicide.
Really?
Because he said he was going to go to like 400 episodes or 400 issues, and I think he stopped at 300, or maybe he was going to 300 and stopped at 200. But when he stopped, he got the whole internet so mad at him. The whole comic book world so mad at him for how he ended that whole series, because he had led on that he was going way past it, and then he just couldn't find it in him to tell that story. Like when you listen to it, it's very raw the way he tells it. He goes, my full intention, I'm going to use the numbers here. If you're a comic file, you might think this might be wrong. I think he said he was always going to go to 400 episodes or 400 issues, and he stopped I think at 300. Like I said, I might have those numbers wrong. But he got to where, as he was telling the story and going, he let the story develop itself with his characters, and like an author does. And he got to a point where he's like, I can't stretch this without feeling like I'm treating my audience incorrectly. Yeah. So he just tied it all up and ended it. Yeah. And people were pissed. They were pissed off. You out of here?
I'm not surprised.
Everybody else is.
Oh, yeah. So people were pissed.
We got Jen over there. Say hi.
You gotta come in and say hi.
Sorry, I was saying chat, say hi to Jen, but also Jen says hi.
She has to come say hi.
Well, yeah, they would just have to trust you that I was here.
Well, I would never lie to them.
There is no Jen. There's no Jen. There's only Jen.
Hi.
Awkwardness. Pizza. We'll go have some good pizza. That actually sounds kind of good.
I somebody mentioned pizza earlier, and I'm like, going to get a pizza.
I'm still in that phase of like sinus drainage that nothing really sounds good because I only ate half my sandwich. Really? I'm super hungry. So if birds aren't real, how can we be sure Jen is? I thought that logic tracks. It's hard to tell.
Bye, Jen.
It's hard to tell.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll see you in a little bit then.
That's it. We're done.
We're done? Okay. Goodbye.
Good conversation. I did a little paint. You did a lot of paint.
I did a lot of paint. We got a good chunk of the way done on this.
I'm into the details, so this is the time where I get into the weeds and things go slow.
You're telling me.
Because I'm like finalizing the last bits of what I want it to look like. I do the horns and stuff like that. So, Jen and birds. Every hero needs their nemesis. This is also true. Not a fan of birds. Although she likes hummingbirds. There's a hummingbird outside the house this morning. I almost went and grabbed her. Because she does I think I should get her a hummingbird feeder thing, but we don't have a good place to hang it. But it'd be neat to have one that she could look out the window, because she likes hummingbirds.
Jason, hang it from the cannon.
What's that?
Hang it from the cannon.
Ooh, yes, or the dinosaur.
Front yard.
The T-Rex.
Oh, T-Rex.
Yeah, I need a T-Rex with a... If I buy the big old metal T-Rex to replace the tree
from the tooth.
and hang the T-Rex from the mouth as a hummingbird feeder, she'll totally buy that. She'll totally buy that.
Yeah, you should.
She'll totally buy that.
Pitch it to her tonight. Let me know how it goes.
I don't think you can just go pick one of those up. I think you have to plan.
Well, pitch it to her tonight. Let me know how it goes.
A 10-foot tall T-Rex made out of steel is not going to fit in the back of my car.
A T-Rex with a cannon? I'm on board for this.
So I'm going to tell you how the one time I came the closest to losing my life was on a car ride where I asked Jen if I could have a T-Rex, and she said no. And I said Brontosaurus, and she said no. It's like, and she says, and no cannons either. And I said, what about a dinosaur with a cannon? And she gave me the pure stare of evil. Like, it went from joking to this is not a joke very quickly. She's over the whole dinosaur in the front yard thing. And it's funny because as you turn down one of the streets to get to our neighborhood, there is a dude who has dinosaurs, the same dinosaurs I want, in his yard. Okay. And that's what sparked the conversation.
Alternative option. No dinosaurs. How about giraffe?
Giraffes are technically not linked to birds, so maybe this is a better plan.
I'm in. See?
I really don't care what it is. It could be a sloth on the tree. I don't care. I thought about getting a little metal drop bear and putting it in the tree.
Oh, that would be funny.
You know, she'd never see it.
And then it falls out of the tree.
She wouldn't say it until she did. And she'd be like,
why is there a metal drop bear?
What the hell is that? Why is there
holding
a koala
feeder
in our tree? Game delay is not going to happen. There's a song called Laser Shooting Dinosaur by Angus McSix. Sounds horrible. Yeah, exact game delay. Do you like my new bird feeder, Jen? It's technically a birdhouse. Oh, she'd kill me then. It'd be the Baby J show. You would never hear from me again. All right, gang. Thanks for hanging out with us on this wonderful Tuesday. Glad to see you back. And we will be back again mañana. Same bat time, same bat channel. Remember to...
So you're here
I got to do all the...
Until when?
I'm going to do all the things. Do I do them here? I do them here, right?
Yeah, you can do it from here. When are you out of town? Because you're out of town...
Oh, no. How do I do this? Exclamation point, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to do all the links.
Cool. Where to go? Oh.
I leave on the 19th. I'm gone from the 19th to I'll be back on the 30th. So okay. I'm gone for 7 days of stream.
Okay.
During that time.
Okay.
So. FLGS. Bam. There you go. Check out the store where you can pick up some wonderful Monument Hobbies products, help support us so we can keep supporting you. Thank you much. And then the Discord where we have, I don't know, has anybody told us? 4,800, 4,700. A drop bar is just a large koala with sharp point. Exactly.
I haven't seen him today.
The 4,600 and something amazing artists just like yourself over on the Discord. Come join in on the conversation over there. We have a lot of fun. We'd love to see you. If you're not already, please hit the follow button here on the stream to get alerts when we go live, because we do this 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is Phoenix time, which right now is the same as Los Angeles time, but it won't be the same as Los Angeles time after November. So
yes,
we're very confused and confusing here in Arizona. But thanks for hanging out with us. Stick around. We're going to find somebody to raid to pass you off to some more hobby goodness throughout your evening. Love to see you back tomorrow. Have a wonderful one. We're out.
Goodbye.
Adios.